All right. What is up, everybody? Shadow Scout 0013 here coming in for Legion News. So I'm going to take a pause on a second on coming out with lists for the moment and talk about the new Battle Force documents that have just come out from Atomic Mass, explaining the different battle forces and what they can do, what they can bring, and the battle cards. So go ahead, like, subscribe, and share this video if you can. Leave a comment below with which battle force you're super excited about, which battle force you know you're going to play. And I think, again, that this is very, very great for people who are just beginning and they don't have a faction and they want to get into just one faction. I feel like this is a great way to start, and then eventually, if you wanted more, just go get some extra expansion packs, or even go get the beginning box and start from there. But for the most part, I feel like this is going to be really good, and a lot of people are probably going to play this. You're going to see them everywhere, and they're very interesting, very, very interesting. So I'm excited to see the strategic way that people put together lists and do things. But we'll go ahead and get into it. So we'll start with the Separatist Invasion Force. So Battle Force rules, obviously, you got to run the rank requirements and do everything that you see here. The Separatist Invasion is just, talking about the Separatists. Now, the special rules we need to talk about. The special rules are a Separatist invasion battle force is part of the Separatist Alliance faction. Yes, so you can only take it CIS stuff. The field commander keyword cannot be used in a Separatist invasion army. That's going to become important, and I'll explain why in just a second. So the allowed units: Count Dooku, General Grievous, and the T-Series tactical droid. No other kind of commander can be involved. Operative, only Maul, no bounty hunters. Special forces, only the Magna Guard. Okay. The core, you can only take B1s only. Support units, you can only take Droidicas or Staps. Heavies, you can only take the AAT Trade Federation tank. Okay. So the unique upgrades allowed are the Annihilator pistol that you can take on General Grievous. Those are the only allowed units that you can take. No other ones can be in there, which kind of limits you. But at the same time, when we look at the rank requirements, it's not bad. So with what you have to include, so you have to include one commander, and you may include up to one operative. So you have to take, obviously, a commander just like every other list. And then special forces, you can only include up to two special forces units. So you may include them. So you don't want to take them, you don't have to. But with the Magna Guard, you can only take up to two Magna Guard. Okay. Core units, you have to include a minimum of 4 and up to 8. So this is a little bit different, and up from 3 as the minimum, and a little bit higher than the most you normally do a 6, but then now you could do 8 with this battle force. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Having 8 units of B1s on the field, holy crap, that's gonna be crazy. But I don't know if you're gonna be able to get up to 8, and I'll explain why. So each army may include up to 3 support units. So you can include up to 3 Droidicas or Staps. Now here's the kicker: you have to include 1 to 2 heavies. So you're always going to have to take an AAT Trade Federation tank. The problem is you're not allowed field commander. So this is going to be a little hard, since you have to take, you're probably going to wind up having some smaller lists if you want to take Dooku and Magna Guard, or maybe Maul, Magna Guard, and the Trade Federation stuff, because you're going to have a minimum of 4 battle droids. So I'm excited to see how many activations people can kind of fit in these lists. I'll, obviously try and test it out and see what I can do. But yeah, I think that this is going to be very interesting. And the fact that you have to include a tank, it's going to be, I feel like they're going to be very range good. So they might be able to, I mean, given the battle droids are white, but with the battle tank and with Grievous and with the Magna Guard and your battle droids, having to just probably do 4 naked battle droids with HQ uplink, and then give everything else to the Magna Guard, Dooku, and the tank, I don't know. It's different. So with skirmish, sorry, with a skirmish, each army must include 1 commander. Okay. Each army may include an operative. Special forces, you may include only one. You can, so that's the max, only one. The core, you have to include a minimum of 2, which is awesome, and up to 6. Cool. And then supports, each army may include up to 2 support units, and each army must include a heavy and skirmish. So again, that's going to be hard. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of the new CIS Battle Force cards. So here we go. Your 1-pip AI coordination. Each friendly unit that is issued an order using this card gains a standby. So you're probably going to give this to your tank. I would. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because if you, it doesn't say that you can't use the little droid that can coordinate to other core or other friendly trooper units in the tank. So you might be able to do that and then start your daisy chain. It's just up to you. But you can gain a standby token, and then that's awesome. I mean, that's, yeah, I mean, on a 1-pip, that's cool. So our 2-pip, Unrelenting Assault, 2 core units, okay? So after a friendly core unit performs a ranged attack, if it has spent 1 or more aim tokens, another friendly unit at range 1 to 2 may gain 1 aim token. So this is very, very similar to the 3-pip that Empire has. That's 3 core, but this is for 2 core. Now, you're probably going to be able to daisy chain. So it's very interesting that they named it that way. If I don't understand why they're doing 2 core units when it just, why not just 2 units? Oh, I understand that has to be core units because it's the same way as the 3-pip that you want to give it to the core because it's after a core unit performs a ranged attack. It's just very interesting because you're going to daisy chain anyway. So I guess if maybe one's too far, you can go with that one. And Unstoppable Advance, the 3-pip. 3 core units, kind of very similar, but this is a little bit more specific. So each friendly trooper unit that is issued an order using this card may perform a speed 1 move. So even though you daisy chain, you might have all 8 droid troopers or 4 to 8 droid troopers have orders. The only 3 that can perform the speed 1 move are the 3 core units that you gave this card to or orders to. So like if you really need to push up on the left flank or you really need to push up down the middle or something like that, then you can do a free speed 1 move and take those 3 units up and, you know, do what you need to. So this is very core and heavy oriented. So your best bet again is just taking either the T series or General Grievous, honestly. And I don't know. Yeah, people who play CIS, I'm interested to hear your thoughts and what you think of this and the fact that you're going to have to take a tank. So yeah, all right. Let's go to the 501st. Now I've talked a little bit about the 501st in a different battle or in a different video, but let's kind of take a look at them. Let's take a look at the special rules. So it's part of the Republic. You can only take, you know, Republic units with this. You can't take any Shadow Collective. During army building, you may include 1 ARC Trooper Strike Team unit for each non-strike team ARC Trooper unit that you have in your army. That's pretty interesting because you can include up to 4 special forces, which we'll talk about in 2 seconds. But yeah, so with the commanders, you can only take Anakin or Rex and a clone commander. Pretty generic, I would say. Anyway, so yeah, pretty cool. I mean, that's 501st commanders anyway. You're only allowed phase 2 core troopers. Okay, so corn, clone, and core. Yeah, so you're only allowed 2 phase 2 clone troopers in your army as core. No phase 1s. Special forces, ARC troopers, no strike teams, which I guess you can't take strike teams alone. Okay, you have to have an actual ARC trooper team in order to take the strike team with it. Which, I mean, yeah, that's cool. It's kind of like they just kind of separated for a second for the battle. So just cool. Just no strike teams. You're just allowed to have strike teams if you take a unit of full arcs. So if you have a naked 4, take a strike team. You could do 2 naked ARC troopers and do 2 strike teams. But then why would you do that? Because I mean, I would want the full ARC. Yeah. Okay. So supports ATRTs and bark speeders. Heavies, you're only allowed to take a lat, no saber tanks, only the lat. And then Echo and 5s can be included. So let's take a look at this. So the rank requirements, each army must include 1 to 2 commanders and operative units. So at least 1 unit must be a commander, but there's no operatives. So you're only allowed commanders anyway. So you can have up to 2 commanders. Core, each army must include 1 to 4 core units. So they know phase 1s are expensive. And so all you have to do is take 1. That's awesome. And up to 4 because they're expensive. And then you probably won't be able to get more than that anyway, especially if you want to take any ARC troopers, which I would definitely be taking if I were you, because they are a great unit. Man, yeah. So I'd probably go with like Anakin, maybe like a core that can support my special forces like crazy, and then go heavy on them. So the support, each army must include 1 to 2 support units. So you have to include, wait, and even the special forces. So you have to include at least 1 to 4 special forces units. So yeah, that's pretty cool too. You've got to. And then the only thing that is a may is the heavy. So you may take the lat if you want to, but you have to have a support. You have to have special forces. You have to have at least 1 core, and you have to have, up to 2 commanders. Not bad. That's pretty cool. I'm excited to again see what people come out with and what people include. So I wonder how many 1 to 2 support units. So only 2 bikes max. So no 3s and 2 ATRTs. And then, yeah, I would just deck out on the special forces, the support, maybe 1 core, and then whoever you want to take. Skirmish rank requirements. So you have to include 1 commander. You have to include at least 1 core. You have to include at least 1 special forces. So you have to take a full strike or full ARC trooper unit, no strike team. You may include 1 to 2 supports, and you may include a heavy. So you don't have to take the vehicles, but you have to take all of the clones. Makes sense. So I'm not going to explain these again in much detail, but I'll go ahead and go over them again for anyone who hasn't seen the last video. Lead from the front. It's a commander unit only. So either Rex, Anakin, or just the generic. So when building a command hand, you have to treat this card as though it has 2 pips, which is going to be a very hard choice if you have Anakin. So after a friendly core, or after a friendly commander is issued an order by this card, choose 3 other friendly units within range 1 of the commander unit that you probably just put this order on. Each chosen unit gains 1 aim or a dodge. So like I said, if you have Rex and you've done scouting party and you decide to put this down, everyone's getting an aim or a dodge immediately. So that's one way of being able to help out the people in the middle. Tactical planning. So after a friendly support or special forces unit performs an attack against the unit that has a face-up order token, shuffle that order token back into the order pool. Very, very similar to the Empire's 2-pip that they have with the supports or heavies. Now, this is, strike. I keep wanting to say strike teams. These are the special forces or the supports. So, and you're going to have a ton of special forces, and it just says after a friendly. So if you were to somehow, HQ uplink all of your, give out 2 orders and then, HQ uplink another unit, then all of those, I keep wanting to say strike teams, special forces units may be able to do that attack. Okay. So leader of the 501st. So 3 special forces or 3 core units. Permanent. So friendly units of the range 1 to 2 of a friendly Anakin Skywalker and or clone commander Rex gain indomitable. So you can't use this with a regular generic clone commander. You've got to use Rex and or Anakin. And indomitable is whenever you roll a red dice, or whenever you are rolling for suppression, you're going to roll a red dice. Pretty simple. All right. So hope nobody's bored yet. We're not going to go a little halfway intermission thing. We're going to go straight into Echo-based defenders. So with Echo-based defenders, basically it's part of the Rebel Alliance faction. So no, again, other people. So no Shadow Collective people at all, like Pikes or anything. So the field commander keyword cannot be used in Echo-base. So even though you have Wedge, you can't use Field Commander. You still have to put Leia, Luke, Han, or a Rebel officer on the field. Okay. Those are the only commanders allowed. Just the Commander Luke. The operatives allowed are Chewbacca and R2. And if you take R2, you're allowed to take C3PO. The only core you're allowed to take are the Rebel veterans and the Mark IIs. Okay. So the fact that you're going to be able to take 3 to 6 core again, just like normal, is you're going to probably take 3 veterans and 3 Mark IIs. Maybe you take 4 veterans and 2 Mark IIs. It's just kind of up to you and how you want to play it. You can take the 1.4 FD laser cannon team and or Tauntaun riders, and then you can take only the T-47 airspeeder. And then the unit allowed is Wedge Antilles, but you can't use the field commander with him. Just the 90-degree turn. So each army must include 1 to 4 commander and operative units. So at least 1 unit must be a commander. So if you were to take Chewie, you have to take at least Han, obviously. But you can choose, Leia, Luke, Han, and a Rebel officer. Or you could choose Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewbacca. Or, yeah, okay. Each army must include 3 to 6 core units, just like normal. Each army must include 1 to 4 support units. So being able to take 4 Tauntaun riders, what? Or maybe you have 3 Tauntaun riders and an FD laser cannon to stay in the back. That's one way of, doing it too. And then each army may include 1 to 2 heavies, just like normal. So nothing too special there. Just 4 special force or 4 commanders and or 4 support units are available. With the skirmish, you must include 1 to 3 commanders and or operatives, and then each army must include 2 to 4, just like normal. And then, and then each army must include 1 to 3, and you may include a heavy, but you have to take again 1 to 3 supports. So I would again take the Tauntauns. All right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes. Here we go with the new Battle Force command cards for Rebels. The Echo Base Defenders, 1 unit, delaying tactics. At the end of the command phase, your opponent must choose one of their non-commander units that has a face-up order token, and if able, return it to the order pool. That's really nice. I mean, they're probably going to be giving their order out to the commander. You don't know possibly when, they'd be doing that. But so, oh, my bad. So at the end of the command phase, your opponent must choose one of their non-commander units that has a face-up order token, and if able, return it to the order pool. So if you are, playing against a CIS person and they've just daisy chained, you can take that tank order out if they were able to put a tank order on there. Or, anyone that's not a commander and they have a face-up order token, you can just put that back in their order pool and make them draw. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, obviously, that can be a very, very strong card, especially when you're playing against CIS and people who are able to put a lot of order tokens on the pool and mess them up. The 2-pip, Courage of the Rebellion. Each friendly trooper unit that is issued an order using this card may recover. So 2 units can recover, which is a little bit less than Veers' 3-pip because he and 2 others can recover. But this one is easy. You can give it to just any 2 units, which Commander Luke needs recovers because he doesn't have Master of the Force. So if you're bringing, Commander Luke, you definitely want to bring this to give him that free recover that he needs so bad to be able to maybe get force reflexes and force pushback, but that's easy. And then the 3-pip, hold at any cost. This is good for the 3 core units. So each friendly core unit gains an aim. Each friendly emplacement trooper unit gains a standby token. So if you were to bring 3 emplacement troopers, it looks like each emplacement trooper is getting a standby. And then each friendly core unit gains an aim token. And you're probably giving these 3 core units to the vets, which will probably be able to coordinate anyway to the emplacement troopers if they're close enough. And maybe you use this in the very beginning whenever you can, get that free aim, move, and then have your range 4 gun shoot at whoever is, at range 3, 4, wherever you are. And if you were to put recon intel, then it would be a lot easier to go ahead and use this and then just go ahead and give everyone an aim and a dodge, because the vets have defend 1. So whenever you give them an order, they're going to be able to gain a dodge. And then whenever you give them an order from this card, you're going to be able to gain an aim. So an aim and a dodge, and every emplacement trooper is going to gain a standby. You just giving out a ton of tokens. And yeah, that's a pretty strong one. I think this could be a very strong battle force because of the free recover, the fact that, like I said, you can give Luke that free recover. You can mess up their order again, almost kind of like through sabotaging again, and then being able to hold at any cost, be able to give your vets basically 2 tokens because of the order given, and give your emplacement trooper standby, and they have range 1 to 3. So, man, now they need to come up with some really cool non-battle units. So like the bunker, and come out with some more scenarios again after these battle forces. That'd be cool. All right, and last but not least, the Empire. my faction. All right, so you're only allowed to bring Imperial forces, and the field commander cannot be used. So if you're going to take General Vice, you can't use his field commander and have only the ATST as the commander. You have to take Vader. You have to take Vader, Veers, or an Imperial officer. Okay. Those are the only 3 that you're allowed to take. You're allowed to take Operative Vader. So if you wanted to do, Imperial officer and Operative Vader, yes. But Darth Vader has Compel. And as we're going to see with these cards, I think that that's going to be huge. So you can take Snowtroopers, and you can take the special cards, the special 2 Stormtrooper cards that they give you for this battle force. And I'll explain that in a minute. You're allowed to take the speeder bikes or the E-Web, basically. And with the heavies, you're only allowed an ATSD. And then you're allowed to take General Vice, but you're not allowed to use his field commander. So let's look at the rank requirements. So the commanders and operatives. So each army must include 1 to 2 commander and operatives. So at least 1 unit must be a commander. So if you're going to, what you can do is you can take Veers and an Imperial officer. You can take Vader and an Imperial officer, or you can take, an Imperial officer and operative Vader. And then each army must include 3 to 6. So nothing special here, same core requirements. Each army must include 1 to 4 support units, 1 to 4. So imagine doing 4 E-Webs. That'd be awesome. 4 bikes. Now talk about getting in and swooping in quick. Basically, you're doing a double rainbow for each full unit of bikes you have, and doing range 3. That's pretty cool. So each army may include up to 2 heavy units. So you don't have to include it like the AAT and CIS, but you can. For skirmish, each army must include at least 1 to 2 commanders. Yep. Each army must include 2 to 4 units. Yep. Just like normal. That's what I mean. Each army must include 1 to 3 support units. So you have to take, I'd probably take an E-Web. I'd probably take 3 E-Webs at that point. And then you can include an ATST in there if you wanted to. We'll go ahead and get into the main little thing that we also want to know as our command cards. So the 1 pip for the Empire. This is awesome. 2 units and a 1 pip. Awesome. Just like, CIS's 1 pip that, you can give it to a tank and then, or a vehicle, and then have it, coordinate That's pretty cool. But so here we go. So 2 units. Enemy units cannot remove more than 1 suppression token during their rally step. So this is awesome. If you've dealt suppression the entire time and maybe you are really trying to suppress whoever, like an operative or a commander, they're not going to be able to remove more than 1 suppression token. So if you've got 6 suppression on someone and they're really trying to roll it off, they can't, there's no point. They're going to panic. So yeah, that's fantastic. I think that that's going to be really, really powerful. And especially as a 1-pip, man, really, really good. So overwhelming barrage, the 2-pip. Once this round, at the end of the activation of a friendly core or commander, it can perform an attack using the following weapon. So very similar to CIS's 2-pip. This one's going to be for the commander, Vader, Veers. Veers always, I feel like Veers is going to be known for his destroying the shield generator through every 4 to infinity shot. I don't know. I think that that's hilarious. But you're going to be able to gain surge to hit, 4 black dice at range 4 to infinity, blast, beam 1, immune to deflect, and suppressive. That's huge. The beam 1's going to be cool in itself. So, man, that's really good. I mean, it's not as good as, 2 red, 2 black, but this is awesome. I feel like this is still a really good attack with the beam 1, man. So as far as I understand, yeah, like range, as long as it's at range 1, you can make another attack. So you'll be able to do this. Blast, so no cover. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's gonna be coming in handy. And it's just 2 units. So it doesn't matter who the 2 units are. You can give it to your commander if you want to. You don't have to. That would keep them scared. I would assume that they're probably going to run and hide at that point. So you might want to go with him first. So the 3-pip, debark for ground assault. 3 units. So the cool thing is that, again, you don't name specific units. It doesn't have to say trooper, doesn't say commander. It's just, this is awesome. I like that about this one. Each friendly core unit that is issued in order using this card gains spur. Okay, so if you were to be running, 3 to 4 snows, we'll say 3 snows. Say you're running 3 snows and you gave them an order with this card, they're going to be able to gain a suppression and go speed 2. And then since they are suppressed, you're going to be able to compel them to make a free move. And then they can make another move at speed 1 and then do a free ranged attack. That it's going to be so powerful in itself. So you would definitely probably want to run Commander Vader and Snows and take this 3-pip. And then Vader's other 3-pip where he gains the reliable 2 permanent. And then the weapon of each friendly core trooper unit that is issued in order using this card gains suppressive, which would be really, really good to use unrelenting fire probably right afterwards, because after you've now hopefully suppressed so many units, you can use your 1-pip that says enemy units cannot remove more than 1 suppression token during the rally step. And it doesn't limit the amount, it doesn't say what units, it just says enemy units. So operative, commanders, whoever you are really trying to suppress won't be able to take that off and will probably panic, and you will dominate with that. So, man, I think that the Empire has probably the most powerful command cards, in my opinion. So this would be a really good one. And oh man, I'd want to use it. Okay, so we've got our 2 new Stormtroopers that the battle force can use, and these are going to be only able to be used in the Blizzard Force. So special issue, flexible response. So you can equip 2 heavy people on here. You can equip 2 heavies. So that's why it's so cheap, because maybe you wind up running. So here's that you have, if we go to, maybe we go to Empire real quick. We look at the heavies. So 30 plus maybe you bring the T-21 Stormtrooper along with the DLT. So maybe at range 1 to 3, you're shooting, the 6 dice. Critical 2, impact 1. That would be pretty cool. You can do, 30, that'd be 50, 74 point unit. That's only got what, 2? Does it include any others? No, 3. Oh, there's already 3 people in here. Wow. Now this is going to be awesome. So they're basically 10 points for each little mini. So yeah. Oh yeah, that's awesome. So maybe, yeah, I would go with the T-21, obviously, and the DLT, or no. If you're already going to gain critical 2 and you're surging and you have precise and you're unhindered at speed 2 surging already, I think the best bet would be to take the RT-97 and the T-21, because not only are you shooting, you're adding 3 extra dice to whatever you're shooting. So that's already 6, 7 plus the 4. So you're shooting 11 dice, precise 1, critical 2. I mean, every single time. That's awesome. And basically they're giving you 2 here because you can include up 2 of those. And since they're unhindered at speed 2, I mean, man. And if they're unhindered and speed 2, yeah, maybe you put, what is this? We go with Commander Vader. And we were to go with, where is it? Esteemed Leader. I mean, with unhindered, but you could get rid of those other, little tiny 3 guys and keep your heavies. And you're going to do a ton of damage with that already. So I think the Empire has the best, in my opinion. The Rebels, I think, have a second best. I think the CIS is probably 4th and GAR is 3rd. Got you there. Didn't go in order. But yeah, that's my opinion. And it's just an opinion. All right. So I'm going to really love Empire and Rebels. I'm really, really happy I got Empire and Rebels. And all of the stuff is here on Atomic Mass. So if you haven't been there, go ahead and go there, check it out. And hopefully this, video helped a little bit. I'm super excited again about the Empire. Well, all right, guys, I'll catch you soon in the next video. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and share, and comment below which Battle Force you are the most excited about. And I will catch you guys later.